and welcome to my channel. Today I want to do something new, so something different than like first impression videos or wear tests. I want to talk about foundation that I was wearing for the last 7 days, and I want to talk about it, how it was, how was it longevity, for who it might be, good product, and all the stuff that I wouldn't know in the first impression video. So let's get right into the video. So the foundation is the Estee Lauder foundation, and it's the new one, and it's called Futurist Hydra Rescue Foundation. It looks like that, and it has like the squeezy tube but with a pump at the end. Similar packaging have the CC cream, the It Cosmetics CC cream, Elf Camo CC cream, and a lot of more like CC BB creams or just tinted moisturizer have this type of packaging. So first of all, I will talk about myself, so you will know if you are like, you know, my skin type, and based on it you can guess if it's gonna be good foundation for your skin type. So my skin type is combination. I have a little bit oily T-zone and dry cheeks. I have dry patches on my cheeks. I have some pimples. I have redness on my cheeks. I'm getting oily through the day when I'm wearing makeup because of like the powder I need to use. I have textured skin, so it's really hard for foundation to stick to my skin because it's sticking to the texture first. Mostly my problematic area is nose, so on the nose I would see, and the chin. Okay, nose and the chin. So mostly on these areas I will see if something is wrong with the foundation, if it's not wearing too good, or if it starts wearing off, because you know there's no foundation that gonna looks for a whole day the same. Every foundation gonna wears off. The next thing I want to talk about is what type of foundation I actually like, what are my foundation preferences, because it's another important thing. If you like, I don't know, full coverage matte foundation, and you're watching somebody video that like more natural coverage and natural look on the skin, of course you're gonna have different opinion on the same product. So I don't mind bodifying, I don't mind glowy foundations. My favorite type of foundation is like skin-like finish. When it comes to coverage, I like the best medium coverage. Full coverage is sometimes fine for me, but I find that it's look the worst when it wears off. So my favorite, it's just like medium coverage or light coverage buildable to medium, or medium buildable to full. But I don't like straight full coverage foundations right now, but it's changing a lot. So anyway, I'm using powder on my foundations, so I don't want foundation to be glowy. It's even better for me to have glowy foundation than full on matte foundation, because then I cannot use the powder because it's looking too flat. I mean, I can, but it's looking then too flat, and my skin is getting dry. My skin is getting dry easily. I have also very sensitive skin. First, talking about this foundation, I want to talk about application of this foundation. So my skin, if you're watching me, I said it in every video, because mostly I'm doing videos about foundations, so my skin don't like brushes. So if some foundation works good with a sponge, I don't try brush. for the sake of video, I tried this foundation with a brush, and I will say it's half for my skin, but I know some people can make foundation that have that texture work with a brush, but for my skin it's too runny, it's too watery to use it with a brush. So I tried it with a sponge. I'm using my favorite sponge is the original Beauty blender, and this is the sponge I'm using right now all the time, and they work perfectly together. But I think like if you use other sponge like the Real Techniques, I know many people use this sponge. I was using it before, but I better like the Beauty blender. But I think it's gonna work with every sponge because it's more like tinted moisturizer slash medium coverage. So it applies really beautiful, like it's blending effortlessly. Like you don't need a lot of this foundation if you want light coverage. You just need tiniest amount, like for my face, for medium coverage, when usually I use 2 pumps because of its texture. One pump, and this one pump is huge. It's enough to cover my whole face, and then I'm using half of a pump just to add more coverage on the places like where I have redness or where I have some pimple. So if you don't have much of blemishes or discoloration or anything like that, 1 pump gonna be enough. My skin usually don't like runny texture of foundation, especially around my nose, but this foundation has this unique, like, it's looking really glowy, but it's almost sets. Usually self-setting foundation going towards more matte, but I thought with this foundation it's runny at the beginning, so it's like you would put jelly moisturizer, but after minute or 2 it's getting more dry in a texture, but still feels comfortable, like just moisturizer. You know, you don't feel the mask on the skin, you feel like you would put skincare on yourself. And it's setting almost to this matte, it's setting almost to this, like it feels like it sets but still remain glowy. So it's gonna be perfect if you like glowy foundation but your skin is more oily. So I feel like more oily skin usually don't agree with the foundation that are glowy but like oily in feeling, or even like watery but still remain this sticky after application. And also because it sets on the face, like feels like it's set, it's really good if you use cream contour, cream blush, because it sits on the skin once you apply it and it's almost set. It's really good for topping up with any creams because it's just not lifting off and you're not losing coverage with blending creams on top. I also tried it with few primers, and I can say honestly that it looks good with any primer. I didn't have any problems with like Dimeticon mattifying primers and with more watery, like jelly textured primers. But for me, the best it works with e.l.f. putty primer. It's looking the best, the most still glowy and natural, but like the pores are the most blurred and looks the best with the putty primer. So I would say if you're wondering, like you want to buy this foundation and you're wondering what primer gonna be the best with it, honestly e.l.f. putty primer is really the best option for this foundation. So like I said earlier, it feels on the skin like moisturizer. So it's not heavy. You can feel something on your face, but not like full-on makeup. You don't feel you have makeup on. You just feel like you did your skincare or put an SPF. So it's really lightweight. It's not feeling greasy. Usually when the foundations are too oily, I feel my face itch a bit, and this doesn't do that, so it means it's like more watery. It's not feeling dry, which is usually happen for me with the foundations. Even if they are glowy foundations, usually I feel my face is more dry because of the powders I'm using on top. Because, you know, there is some layer of makeup on my face, and this is enough to feel the dryness on my face. This foundation doesn't feel dry. It does contain some moisturizing, hydrating stuff in it. So I think honestly it's making a job, because usually, like I said, even this foundation is glowy, watery in texture, tinted moisturizer, they feel, my skin feel a little bit drier than without any makeup on. How this foundation wears. So, like I said, it's really good everyday foundation that you're just putting on your face and you look really good. It wears off. For me, on my most oily areas, which is my nose, it's looking beautiful, like almost like I would put it now for about 3 to 4 hours. It's getting a bit more oily than at the beginning, which is normal. 3 to 4 hours, it's looking really good. On my dry places, like honestly, my dry places don't care, and my dry places just looks good all day. It starts to wear off and separates a bit after this 4 hours. Nothing major, still looks really good. After 6-7 hours, this foundation starts to lose coverage. Like major starts to lose coverage, especially like if I have texture. It starts to just dissolve on my texture. So I would say it's foundation that looks really good, and you can, you know, it is losing coverage after the 6 hours, like I said, but it's looking good. And you can wear it worry-free for 8 hours. For all this time, it still feel like nothing, like it still feel like skincare on the skin. You still feel the hydration for all these hours, like you still feel that your skin feels comfortable. So the next thing is packaging. It comes in a box, like typical box for Estee Lauder product. The product itself, you have the name of the foundation, the information that it contains SPF 45. I don't care really about SPF in foundation, so I wouldn't look at that. The only thing I don't like about this packaging, because I love that this squeezy tube have this pump, it's for me like looking really nice, but it's getting, as you can see, it's getting dirty quite a lot. Even if I just, you know, clean it today before I was filming this, the lid inside is really dirty from all the foundation that left on the pump. So anyway, it's gonna be dirty. You're not gonna do anything about it to keep it clean. But, you know, this is something like, okay, not some major issue. Let's now talk about, for me, pros and cons of this foundation. The pro is, like, the most important is how it feels on the face, because like I said, it feels moisturizing and it feels really comfortable for the whole day. It's looking really beautiful. If you pair it with, especially if you pair it with the e.l.f. Putty Primer, it's just blurring the pores. It's layering with every product I used, like creams or powders. It's layering beautiful, and for that runny foundation the coverage is really nice. It's medium coverage, but you can honestly build it up to full coverage because it's setting. And this is another pros, like the setting of this foundation but still remaining glowy. It's really something unique. I didn't use before the product that's gonna set a little bit but still looks glowy and natural on the skin. Really like it, and for me, like, this is just a very good foundation. About the cons, next thing is cons. Of course, like I show you, packaging, it's I don't know if they could do anything about it. The biggest con for me is the smell of this foundation. So it smells like flowery perfumes mixed with something to clean your toilet. It's not holding on too long, the smell. It's like after half an hour of applying this foundation you cannot feel it, but while I'm applying this foundation the smells bother me so much. I'm still gonna use it. It's still, like, you know, my second choice with a go-to, like, date. Like, if I need to choose foundation, this is my second choice. But it could be fragrance free. Like, you don't have to put fragrance in any cosmetics. Like, we don't need fragrance on our faces, okay? Most people these days saying that they better like something if it's fragrance free. So maybe Estee Lauder could think about it, because every product of Estee Lauder is so fragrance and they're really good, but please don't put this fragrance in it. Please just stop. So one more thing which is gone for me, it's the shade range. So you can see the shade of, like, the color of my neck and the color of the foundation. On camera it's looking like, I see in the viewfinder, it's looking better than in person. It's still not something that will make me stop wearing or using this foundation. Sometimes it is, sometimes shade match is something that makes just like one thing that makes me stop wearing the foundation, usually when they turn orange. This shade is okay for me, but when it's warm undertone and it's anyway looking a bit too pink on me. Like, on the side you can see the difference where I put the Revolution powder that have this yellow tint to it, and you can see here but I just put normal translucent powder. It's going a bit too pink. And the last question, would I buy this foundation again if I would run off this foundation? So I have many products to try. Right now, if I would need something I trust, if I wouldn't like go for a new foundation to try, you know, I would just need some foundation I want to trust and buy this, and buy a foundation, like, you know, just based on that. I will repurchase this. I would definitely buy this foundation again because I think it's looking beautiful, and the way it feels on the skin, the way my skin feels comfortable with that, Definitely, if I would find, if Estee Lauder would do fragrance-free version, it would be even better. But yeah, I think I would repurchase it right now after foundation I have tried until now. I think it would be like my go-to natural looking foundation that I just want to put on my face and be water-free for the next few hours. That it looks good, even if it gets more oily or shiny, it still looks good. I will show you some close-ups now. 2 or 3 hours. Also, this is natural light. Thank you for watching. I hope this video was helpful for you. If you have any question about this or any other product I have tried, comment the video. If you have some product you want me to test or some foundation you want like this in-depth review, also write a suggestion in the comments. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. It's helping me and showing me that, you know, the things I'm doing make sense. And again, thank you for being here. Thank you for every minute you spend on watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.